you, come over here. Word on the street is you're looking for a piece of the action. Premium quality dice, yeah? Check these out. Got 'em over at metallicdicegames.com. The best part is, if you tell them I sent you, you can get them even cheaper. Use the promo code RBP10 at checkout. Makes the price so low, you're practically stealing them. Oh, gotta go. Don't forget to use the promo code RBP10.
The Raincor's Brothel presents The Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
You guys went through a mirror. You said
that
a
again?
phrase.
Did you say a three-way mirror?
You went through a mirror?
A mirror? M-E-E-R?
Mirror?
No. There's a second mirror in there.
Mirror.
Mirror.
R-R-O-R.
Hey, you, mirror.
Hey, you mirror. I said you, mirror. You're a mirror.
It almost hurts.
You went through a mirror.
Mirror.
Or rate the O.
You ended up in Prismeer. You do know you were heading to Prismeer. That was where you were told.
Prismeer?
I don't believe they told you the land at which you were going to specifically, because there are 3 provinces of Prismeer.
Land of the Lost.
But I don't think they knew that either. I don't think they know exactly where the mirror lands.
They probably don't care.
However, I'll read for you guys again. You guys are standing on what looks like a stone pathway of sorts. And as you sort of mosey a little further, you find that there's a jagged edge where something has fallen off or crumbled. Troy, your passive is the highest. As you are kind of taking a gander at where you're at, what you're standing on, you notice out of the corner of your eye something up in the sky. It appears to be balloon-shaped. And it appears to be careening downward very, very quickly towards the mists below you.
You guys see that, I don't know, blimp or something falling?
You guys all look up. You see what appears to be a hot air balloon that is seemingly out of control.
That doesn't look good.
Sucks to be them.
And as you kind of say that doesn't look good, it sort of disappears below the mists below you.
Do we want to go find it?
It's the right thing to do.
Troy, we
What?
talked a little bit offline, previous to recording anything, that
Anything.
you, as a herring gun, would know a little bit about Prismeer. You were originally from Prismeer, but weren't here very long. You are aware of Zybilna, which you kind of learned a little bit about at the carnival. You're aware that she was the ruler here at one point. Clearly knowing now at the carnival that Zybilna does not seem to be in charge anymore, perhaps. The hags have sort of taken over. I believe I mentioned this, but I don't remember if I did. I might have just mentioned it to myself. The rules of Prismeer?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to recite those for everyone at the table one more time? Because those are actually very important in this land.
The rule of hospitality, the rule of ownership, and the rule of reciprocity.
All of those are very important for various reasons. Rule of hospitality, essentially you know that whether a friend, enemy, or stranger that enters your home, you are, as the host, even whether accidental or not, are expected to be accommodating. Rule of ownership basically states that you shouldn't steal. You're not allowed to steal. Taking something from something that doesn't belong to you without rightful owner's permission is a crime, and it's unforgettable. It's a breach of what they call etiquette here. And then reciprocity, meaning that when a friend, an enemy, or a stranger offers you something, you are obliged to accept it and offer something in comparable value, whether it is a gift or a service, in return. Does not have to be immediate. So that's the etiquette in this land, and you're very aware of it. And you would also know that those who don't follow that, at least at the time you lived here, would have consequences.
Yeah.
And not great consequences.
Like their balloon falling out of the sky.
Odd question.
Odd answer.
I hope so. A couple of those rules, like the rule of ownership, it's not stealing if they're dead, right?
Oogie woogie.
Finders keepers.
You gave a question, I gave an answer.
At least my question was coherent.
You said odd question, I gave you an odd answer. Sorry.
It is an
Repeat
odd
your
question.
I took too much time trying to think of an answer. And didn't pay attention to what you even asked.
It was basically
So
finders
normal.
keepers. If the owner's dead, finders
Oh,
keepers.
that, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You said, yeah, I mean, like, yeah.
It's like
you can get away with
looting
some
the
stuff, but-
bodies.
I wasn't sure what they have imaginary rules. Somebody might smite me if I steal something take something off of a corpse.
It's not stealing if they
Or
keep
if somebody gives me a gift and I don't like the gift and I reciprocate by slicing their head off. It's immediate. I give them something of equal value.
Whose value determines the value of the item?
Exactly.
Like, here's a rock. They find it extremely valuable. You find it as valuable as this rock. There you go. Equal exchange.
You gave me a cat-shaped rock. It is your most prized possession. I give you a shiny rock.
Or you gave them a rock-shaped cat.
Even better. Although I'm
All
not
of these
sure.
things kind of work. Like,
Although I'm not
everything you're
sure
saying
how it
isn't
would
wrong.
walk.
Okay.
I'm not sure how a
Everything's
rock-shaped cat would
getting
walk.
shiny stones
Yeah, I mean, it's just
for 1 minute.
the entire concept
We
here is
got that
just be a
covered.
good person and don't be a prick.
So no murder hobo?
I mean,
Good luck.
at least at the time that
We got to keep an eye on the fish man. I can see him going murder
Usagi.
hobo.
at the time, sorry,
It's like, really?
it's been a minute since we played, and I forgot that you named him.
I just love that you just stared at him like,
At the
come
time,
on.
at the time that Usagi was here, bad things would happen for murder or stealing or anything like terrible crime, any kind of terrible crime. Not good stuff. And Zabilna definitely made sure that you were found because her
Well, she's
intent-
not in charge
Her intent
anymore.
at the time, her intent was peace and prosperity. Hags don't give a shit. However, Troy, can you give me, I guess, a history? Give me a history roll.
It's a whopping 12.
Okay. You kind of recognize the thing that you're standing on, but you don't really. It's been a while. You feel like you've been here before, or at least know kind of where you're at.
This is like a raised walkway?
It is.
Okay. Like how high?
When you look down over the ledge, you don't see bottom. You see mist.
Okay. I will take a coin out and flick it over the edge.
It goes well below the mist before you hear any kind of sound, and the sound you hear is, while far away, also more of a slightly wet thud.
Okay.
You're also down one gold piece.
Threw a penny.
A copper?
He has a
throw
ton
the
of
puppet.
rocks. You should have just grabbed one of
Is she
those.
like a rock?
As you guys search around, you do see that the some of the pillars have very large mushrooms growing out of them. So, like, climbing down is feasible, using those maybe as like steps.
Is this walkway connected to anything?
No, there's a break, like right where you're standing. There is a big break where it once was fully connected. Something has part of it has crumbled. There's now a
How big is the
massive-
break?
Well over your jumping speed. I mean, like, I'm not kidding. It's the way it's written. It's well over your jumping speed. You couldn't jump from one to the other.
I mean, they couldn't.
That's a challenge.
I don't think you could either.
But what if he had a double jump?
I'm looking at a map that does not have squares. It has miles on it.
Okay, so how many miles is it?
He embraced the power of the flea.
Don't
We're just gonna Neo jump this real quick.
Roughly 2 miles.
Evil Knievel it. Just go for it.
Yeah, just need a running start. Yeah. Triple jump.
Give him
So-
a laser boost.
So that's what you're seeing. Aside from that, you're kind of where you are until you decide to climb or fly or jump, whatever it is you want to try to do here to get down.
So is the consensus that we go and try to help? I don't think it's going to break any of the rules if we don't. or not?
If anything, I think it would be more in line with one of the rules.
Well, if we do save them, rule of reciprocity, we at least are guaranteed something if those rules still apply.
Yeah.
It's true.
Or just honored.
Known. I don't know.
Might
Well,
not be forced by if it's not enforcement because of the tags. Maybe it's just, I was here and this is how I'm just used to things.
Well, before we decide that, we can probably think about it as we climb down. I do have a rope.
Because when you think about how things used to be, people tend to just agree with those even when they're past that point.
I'm not getting into politics with you right now. We can discuss this later.
Oh, no, I understand. It's just fun.
Otherwise, this entire recording session would just be that. And there's already a ton of podcasts like that.
Oh, I know. I was joking.
I appreciate that joke.
Yep. So we'll start climbing.
You awake over there,
down, I
Low Tide?
guess.
Yeah, I was reading my toy spider. Because it helps with climbing.
Yes, but it'll run away
You're
once
not
you
wrong.
use it once.
It is one-time use, but it does give you spider climb for, is it a certain amount of feet? Or for, no, it's for like
for an hour.
It's for 1 hour.
Duration. So if you activate it, I'm going to walk on everything in a weird way.
Spider pig.
That is an option for you.
Jump
He's
between
going to
trees.
walk upside down on that tree
Are there
because he
trees?
can.
Jumping from branch to branch on the underside.
Anybody see Predator? That's what I'm doing.
Of course, it's not like gravity's reversed. You wouldn't really fall toward the tree. So if you jump off, you hit the ground.
Just make sure you're holding on to the next branch first.
What do you do?
We're climbing down.
Okay.
Yep.
Who has the highest acrobatics? They should probably be the one who's holding the rope at the top while we climb down.
That'd be more athletics.
You
Or
think?
strength in general. Acrobatics is moving well.
Well, they have
agility.
to climb down.
I don't always agree
are-
with their determination between acrobatics and athletics.
I would think acrobatics is the person moving well through the air or across the ground. I would think athletics or strength in general is holding the rope if it's someone climbing down.
I'm not worried about holding the rope
It's the person
because
going
if
down.
it's strength, I can just be at the top and no problem. It's the climbing down without the support and making sure nobody ends up roadkill.
So what you guys find as you start to kind of, lurch yourselves around the ledge and see what's around, you find plenty of footholds and handholds and crevices and things. You can easily climb down using these mushrooms sort of as stopping points, and they're very sturdy. They hold you.
So no
platformer.
checks.
No checks, no.
Okay,
platformer.
then never mind.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about it.
I mean, you can absolutely per the book, no checks.
Go
You
acrobatically
can climb
down
down.
roll for acrobatics.
Well, I could just throw you off of it because you're wood. What are you going to do?
Kind of
Fall,
you
David.
can kind of take a 20 and find a way down. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, I'll take the 20 and just find a way down. Look, mushrooms.
Roll to see if it gives you a level up.
you can save your spider for later.
Roll to see if your size increases by 1.
Da, 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 da. No, wait. That's a star.
Yes.
You guys reach the bottom. The bottom is it was roughly a 100-foot drop, by the way.
Death. For me.
For most.
You're not even alive.
I have health.
When you reach the bottom, you hear like a squawking and look over as a massive crane just takes flight and fucks off.
Not a bird, like a heavy just crane just flying through the air. Like, what?
Yeah, a giant crane.
It's more like
goes
an elevator.
and then leaves. It transforms like a transformer. Sticky mud squelches beneath your feet. Tangled mangroves grow out of pools of rippling water, half hidden by the thick fog. And purple mushrooms cling to the rotting logs and stumps scattered throughout the marsh. Crickets that glow like fireflies chirp serenely before they're snatched out of the air by tongues of hungry frogs. And coming from one direction, you hear several voices joined in a marching song. The song grows louder as 6 bipedal rabbits wearing clothing emerge from the fog. 2 of them tug at the reins of a giant snail, and the others carry clubs and slings.
There's only 6 of them?
Correct. And their song, they sing. I'm not going to sing this, but I will recite it.
Do it.
With sticks and stones, we'll break your nose. We'll beat you blind and steal your clothes. but none among us can compare to one wily swift and stand-up hare. Scarf that's glorious, thief notorious, his deeds are truly meritorious. With a wink and grin, he'll show his cunning, a flash of his scarf, he'll take off running. Quick as a bolt, his long scarf trailing, gasping, grasping, you'll end up flailing. You'll pout, you'll moan, you'll huff, you'll sneer. Thanks to Agdon Longscarf, brigand prince of Prismeer. So you see a band of herring-gun brigands, for the lack of a better term.
Usagi, do you know them?
That's racist.
I'm just asking. It's a bunch of rabbit people, and he's a rabbit person.
Still racist.
He might know him.
One of them sort of steps up and does regard you a little bit and sneers and then looks at the rest of the party and says, "Hello there, pretties.
Chinnopio waves. Hi.
This here is a robbery. And if you resist, we'll beat you black and blue." Well, this isn't your typical robbery. No. Now, we don't have no interest in your trinkets, your bits and baubles, no. No, you can keep your buttons and your thimbles. As he says this, he pulls a gourd from, like, a pouch that has, like, a stopper in it. What I want is something more personal. A memory. A memory that gives you intense delight. I want your happiness. Simply think of it and touch the golden stopper, and we'll be on our hippity-hoppity way.
How many were there?
There were 6 and a giant snail. And they don't seem to be reining the snail very well. It seems to be kind of, like, wily.
Wild snails.
I cast sleep.
Well, I don't think we're in initiative yet.
Doesn't matter. He acted first.
Preemptive strike.
Just like, no.
We've already lost enough. Screw these guys.
I guess we're rolling initiative now.
Yeah, these guys are lunch.
I don't have any happy memories.
I'm both impressed and sad for you.
How does sleep work?
It says Magic Slumber, roll 5d8. Total of how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. Creatures in 20 feet. So if they have however much health, starting at the creature with the highest. Starting with the creature with the lowest current hit points. Each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious until the spell ends. Sleeper takes damage, they wake up, shake or slap, all that. Subtract each creature's hit points from the total before moving on to the creature with the next lowest hit points. Creature's hit points must be equal to or less than the remaining total for the creature to be affected. I rolled semi-poorly with a total of 21. Does anything fall asleep 21 health?
So I have to have 21 or less health?
If it's whatever their health is, so whatever the lowest creature's HP is, if it's less than 21, it goes to sleep. Then I remove its HP total from that amount. So you can go through and just like, if something
But
has...
it says that it knocks one out, and what, the remainder goes to the next person?
And then whatever's left of that 21 is applied to the next lowest HP until I'm out. It has to be equal to or less than that amount to go to sleep. If none of them fall asleep, that means I didn't roll high enough.
You rolled, what was your...
21.
21.
Of course, it'll be like, they can't rein the snail in and I put it to sleep. Now it's easier to handle. Like, that backfired.
I think you have some control.
You see
of this
2 of
spell.
them drop. The other 4 are still up.
The rabbit, the ribbits.
Yeah.
Okay. He said 2 of them, and there's something in a snail.
Oh, well, the snail would be further back. But
Okay.
so the other 4 are standing. Probably the one who stepped up because
Okay.
he was a little closer to you, and then one behind him.
Gotcha.
So those 2 drop. Cool. The other 4 and the snail are standing there,
Cool.
quite unhappy.
Grab the gourd.
Initiative before you do anything.
That's fine. Someone grab the gourd.
That's the plan.
They're not dead, right? They're just asleep.
No, they are unconscious and they aren't woken up unless we hit them or one of their people uses an action to slap or shake them awake.
Gotcha. I'm just going to put these guys all on the same initiative. It's going to be easier.
Okay.
And once you want to collect, I got my number.
We'll go around the table. Alex, what do you get?
13.
13? Troy?
24.
Dang.
I have +6.
20. I have a +2.
18.
Hi.
18.
I'm not surprised.
Actually, I rolled the same number as you.
I was proud of my 18 with my +2.
I rolled an 18 +2. He rolled an 18 +6.
I'm okay going last.
Yeah, you're fine.
Usually means that whatever's still standing won't be.
But yeah, I just like the idea of like, give us your stuff. No. It's like asleep.
Hopefully I don't throw my trident and hit one of you guys.
Don't roll low on the attack. The trident's a throne.
You don't get any pluses for being in this misty.
If you throw it, if you throw it, you can use
land.
strength. So you don't if that's your higher stat.
Troy's top of the order.
Is a coup de grace thing?
I believe it is.
Yeah, we'd have to look up the rules.
I can
but
look it up real quick.
I think so.
Let's do it.
I think you still have to roll to hit.
But I would pull out my sword, put it to the whatever the guy who was just talking. If he's unconscious, put it on his throat on the ground, and be like, "We can begin this, or we can end this."
He's negotiating.
It's fair. Let's look. What's the coup de grace rule? I think you still have to roll to hit.
Don't forget.
Can I roll to intimidate?
Don't forget to take
Sure.
the gourd.
It's a 15. It's an advantage on an attack with an automatic crit.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Upon successful hit, correct?
Right. So if you land the hit, you get a crit.
Your intimidate was a 15.
Yes.
The others kind of look at each other and tuck their weapons away and just kind of give a nod and understanding. One of them will go like slap the face of not the leader but the other guy and like drag him back towards the snail and kind of look at you as if to ask that if it's okay to take the other one with them.
Yes, I will just chop the Gordon in two. Not taking it, but
Nuclear blast.
have an AC? Some things like that do.
Well, we just don't want them coming back for this later.
I was worried. I was like,
I'm
touch
mostly,
them with the gourd.
honestly, the biggest thing I'm worried about is if there's something horrible inside that gourd eating the happiness.
well,
That's
Again, boom.
well, usually those things don't boom; they come out and eat you.
I immediately got my first spell slot leveling up extra, and I've already used it.
I don't see it in the list of magic items for the adventure, so it must not have any kind of stat. So I guess you swing a sword on it and cut it in half.
okay.
Everyone's really sad.
In the group that we cut.
Yeah, all the brigands are like very, very sad, like legit upset, almost crying sad. And they take their snail and
It was probably their only source of
they
happiness.
kind of curse you, and they will take off.
Okay. And I wave.
They call you a traitor because you're a Harrigan.
Well, they shouldn't have threatened him.
They started it.
Shova. It's a different game. We haven't started playing it. So that happened.
And I'll just say let's continue towards the fallen balloon.
Yeah.
Just make sure Chinnopio doesn't lead us.
What? You want me to lead?
No.
Oh. So I know I've lost my sense of direction. Can the idea of a internal compass also fall in line with like a moral compass?
Oh dear.
I was just that was almost thinking.
I think
about.
your morals are fine. It's your internal. It's your directional compass. That's jacked.
Okay. Because I know I told you about that one idea I had for where my dude's from.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, maybe.
I mean, roll me a survival check, the rest of you, because you don't. Your sense of direction doesn't matter.
Okay. Perfect. Nat 1.
13.
17.
4.
The 17 especially, you know that the balloon went down eastward, just by kind of gauging where moss and stuff is on rocks and figuring out where north is at. Eastward is where you're going, and that also tells you that the causeway you were standing on is, while it's not direct north, would have headed towards the north.
We should go that way.
Eastbound and down.
As you point and walk, he starts walking west.
Somebody grab the puppet.
Just spin him around and he keeps walking.
So it's like, no.
Like one of those clappy robot things that you twist up.
The monkey.
I'm tying a harness.
Monkey.
I'm tying a harness to him.
I'm now on a leash.
Go ahead.
I just like, it was like, I start walking, like, all right, let's go. And I start walking, so it just grabs my head and turns me, and I just keep walking. Yep.
Pick you up as your feet continue
Yeah,
to
because
move.
I'm
and then point
only, my weight is not that high.
down. No, God, no. You're a small creature too, right?
Well, I'm small, but I have
You're
a
both
weighted-
small creatures, right?
I think he went
Are
medium.
you not small? You went
He
medium?
can be small or
Okay.
medium. I'm considered small.
Gotcha.
So who's the chaperone today for Chinnopio?
Whomever keeps an eye on me.
No shit. Again, time's the. I'm going to tie a rope to him, and he'll just tug him with us.
I have a child leash.
Eventually, you guys.
Because everyone has that 50-foot of hempen rope.
All right. What you guys come upon is a tower that seems to be slanted and leaning not horribly far, but it's very, very much not straight.
Chinnopio runs over. It's like, guys, look! I'm holding it up. And he's not anywhere like in line with it. It's just like that, and he's just kind of like nowhere near the actual angle.
A crumbling,
Such a tourist.
a crumbling stone tower rises out of the swamp, leaning at such an angle that it threatens to keel over. Black brambles surround the base of the tower and cling to its lower half. Hanging from the crenellations on the lower side of the tower's peak is a large woven basket at the end of tangled ropes and tattered fabric. The basket dangles roughly 30 feet above the surface of the swamp.
Of course, you could have just landed. On the
You can gauge that the tower itself is about 50 feet total. And
Not even halfway down.
Wait, how high is it?
30 feet off the ground for the basket, 50 feet tall for the tower.
How high can you jump? Just straight vertical leap?
I just want you guys to get a gauge of what
10.
you're looking at.
Just straight up? Seems low.
It does.
Hold on, let's make sure. Because I know you can do something extra with that, but athletics, because your dex, though. Never mind.
He does a Bugs Bunny dunk.
It's 5 times my proficiency.
Is your... Gotcha. That's your ability, though. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe... I was wondering, because physical jumping is under the athletics thing. But it's up to him if you have to use that, because literally your character is a rabbit. I feel like you could, like, can I just swap this out with my live limber rabbit body to just launch myself up? Yeah. Your just vertical jump being your proficiency bonus is still higher than what a regular jump would be. Because a regular jump is 3 plus your strength modifier. That's if you move at least 10 feet. It's half that if it's just a straight jump. So none of us could reach that.
See, again, I feel like strength should not be the only determining factor.
It's actually not, in all honesty, in the game. You can use, depending on the context, you can use any stat with any kind of check. It's up to how you can display it. Like, you could straight up do an intimidation check using strength because you flex on them.
Oh, yeah.
Literal, like, boo, it's like, that's a muscle thing. That's like, oh, you're not scary. It's like, just fucking rip your shirt sleeve open with your bicep. That'd be a little more of a strength intimidation.
How very American of you.
You said this is just like bramble? Like, how thick?
Yeah, so you're looking at a 30-foot wide space all the way around the tower. The tower itself is about roughly 20 feet wide. It is rough terrain.
The bramble or
The bramble would count as rough terrain.
Right. Can I cut through it?
You could.
How dry is it?
I was about
It's
to
a
say.
swamp, so it's not like dry. I mean, it's
Like, is
slightly
it
wetland.
sopping wet or is it just like healthy?
No, you could chop through it. It has an AC. Like you can chop through it.
Okay, yeah. And so you can try and chop. I was going to blast it and see how that worked. Straight pull my slingshot, and you see it glowing as I pull it back.
Go any further. Oh,
The glow
and
intensifies as I pull further.
You got a freaking railgun right there, man.
Nah, it's just Eldritch Blast charging.
somewhere over here is
Oh, dear.
The rock bounces off the bramble and hits him in the head.
It's not a rock.
That's okay.
Oh,
roughly where that square is that I didn't erase before. The red square is probably about where the thing is hanging from, and then the other square I drew over here in green is the door, which would be on the right of your characters. It's the south part of the map.
So either there's a princess up there or a wicked witch.
Or nothing.
Probably nothing.
It does appear to be quite abandoned. Yes, you can chop through it if you wish.
But what happens?
The vines grab you, and then we never hear from you again. No, wait. This is not the other game.
he would become one with the bramble.
It is a roll to hit. type
I'm
thing,
thinking
like,
Trude Bang
because
rules.
it has an AC on it.
Like, he gave me a rock earlier. Obviously, it's not magic anymore, but I'll throw it into the bramble, and does anything happen?
Throw the rock into the
Yeah.
bramble. It skitters and rattles and makes a bunch of noise and disappears underneath all of the thorns and nastiness.
All right, so as I was saying, I pull up my slingshot,
Not
and as I pull it back, it
sentient.
starts to
And
glow brighter.
As soon as you do that, you hear someone go, "Shh! Hey, up here! Up here.
I don't let go and let it kind of dissipate back to nothing.
Hey.
You hear that?
You're hallucinating.
No, I swear I heard something. Hello? Hello?
Stop yelling. Hello. Where are you? Up here. Probably coming from the basket that's hanging.
Are you in the basket?
Yes, I'm in a bit of a bind up here.
Why can't we yell?
There are 2 serpents. They are asleep in the brambles, just outside the tower door. If you awaken them, they might put the squeeze on you, or worse, devour me.
You've learned all this in the span of 10 minutes you've been up there?
I live here, sir. I am Sir Taliver. As one of the Summer Queen's loyal servants, I ask you to free me. See, I was in...
You know a way to get to you.
Well? No.
This is your tower?
No. You see, I was in the midst of a daring escape from the vile Bavlorna Blightstraw, when a balloon was set upon by an ill wind, was sent plummeting to its current unfortunate location. My pilot, the Honorable Wigglewog, did not survive, and I've been trapped up here for a while now.
How long did it take us to get here?
I didn't think it took us that long.
Longer than you think. Again, this
Okay.
map is in miles.
Oh, that's right. Also, fun fact, I completely forgot we were following a fallen hot air balloon, and I was like, picnic basket was hanging?
No.
And I was like, there's a person inside that basket? Like, I'm small, but how tiny is he?
Hot
You
air
remember?
balloon.
You remember the fairy garden we went into?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And his name was Sir Tabernacle? What was his name?
Tavalar.
Tavalar.
Talavar. Talavar.
I wouldn't trust his spelling at this point.
Oh, no, trust me, you're going to run into a lot of me getting names wrong throughout the campaign, and
No,
I'm not
not
trying to
you.
be
It also
joking.
doesn't help that a lot of times they're misspelled in various areas in the writing because they don't do a great job sometimes of editing.
Sir Talavar, the
What happens
basket
when you
knight.
can't spell check weird names.
No, you can't. They're always underlined in red.
Let's see here.
You just gotta click ignore every time.
The pilot's dead.
And
The
Mr.
snakes
Basket
are
Knight.
asleep. The guy in the basket's probably very ripe because we've been walking for miles and he's been in a swamp.
Who has the highest move speed? Probably you.
Move?
Oh, no,
We
you're...
probably all have the same move speed.
well, some races have... You have 35.
I do have 35.
And you're tanky.
I'm very fast and I'm
It was
very
about
heavy.
a 3.5 mile hike here, by the way.
Do we think we could distract the serpents?
We can probably kill them depending on how big they are.
Maybe. Or...
Or
How fast are you?
faster than you.
Yes. Maybe you're bait.
No one's wisdom is high enough to see them, so
Oh, I'm saying get
there
them
is a
out.
there's a passive
Is it
on them.
really?
Yeah, there is a passive perception that
Oh wait,
you can
no,
just
I'm
see them without
intelligence,
rolling,
not wisdom.
and no one's passive is high enough.
Yeah, no, I'm
You
sure.
can try to search for them with a passive check if that's what you want to do, or the
Or
perception
a
check.
perception check. Sure, let's look.
Well, he
for
said they're in
these.
front of the door.
Roughly 10 feet out from the door is where you said.
Nope.
Oh, we're doing.
Of course, I roll it in my tray, and I get 10 higher than that last one. But my actual roll is garbage.
18.
15.
18, you get the glimpse of some scales close to the door, about 10 feet
Do
away
I have
from
an
the door.
idea of like distance and size of the creature?
Well, 10 feet out from the door is about 20 feet away from you if you're at the edge of the
your
bramble.
class?
It's a 30-foot space from the edge of the bramble to the edge of the tower itself.
5, 10, so right around here then.
Yes, roughly.
And you said
fairy
serpents?
He called them snakes.
I thought he assumed 2.
Yeah, I thought
There
I
are
said 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said 2.
Well,
Yeah, there are 2 serpents.
yeah,
I can't talk to serpents, can I?
Is it an animal?
If you have speak with animals, you can.
You speak with fish and water
I
creatures.
just have primordial.
Yeah. No,
But you also can. I think you can speak with.
you
fish
can
and
speak with
stuff.
animals
That's
if you
part
have
of your
if
thing.
you had a spell for it.
But I don't think you speak with animals.
I thought you did the Aquaman thing.
Yeah, he can speak to fish and water creatures.
Yeah, not the same.
Use piranhas.
So I was checking.
No, that's a fair
They're
question.
land. They're land sea snakes. Sea snakes.
That sounds,
Land sea snakes.
yeah.
I light a torch and I throw it in the area of the snakes.
You said these weren't dry, so it shouldn't.
No, they're not
explode
dry.
Fire-wise.
Aren't we in a swamp? Wouldn't it go out as soon as you
Swampy-ish.
throw it?
Well, it's got to land. It's got to fall through the brambles to get wet first. If it's anything, it's caught in the brambles.
I guess.
It's a 10-foot throw. Throwing is based off dex, right?
Strength.
Strength?
Throw is a strength base.
Strength. All right.
You
So
can
roll
choose
me,
dex if you want, but it's strength.
roll me a
is base.
strength check
Can
get
I
it-
choose Dex?
Let
I'm
me
pretty
make
sure
sure.
throwing's Dex.
I think
thought throwing was
can be
dex
you can use strength. I think it's like a finesse.
Whichever's
but
better
with
for
I
you.
thought it was finesse. And
Go
you could
ahead and
use
roll
one or
that.
the other.
finesse is you can
Like a
use
throw
dex or
attack?
strength, but throw is different.
Okay. I thought
Yeah, because
throw
you're
was-
trying to hit a direct location.
I think
fell
throw
under
you
it.
can use strength in place of dex. 'cause
17.
It's a ranged attack.
Okay.
And that's a
You
base.
throw it. It hits the brambles. It probably breaks a few. It might catch it on fire for a second, but it kind of sizzles out. But you hear a and that thing like disappears further into the bramble. It is now out of his sight,
Now we don't even
and
know
it's
where it
awake.
is.
That didn't work quite as well as I wanted.
I don't think that's what I asked you to do, sir.
Well, at least you
Now
don't have to
they're
whisper.
pissed.
We can talk normally now. You don't have to whisper.
Fair point.
Do you know
Alright.
Greece?
The country?
No,
it's
we
fine.
once used grease and set it on fire. It was pretty useful.
Okay, yeah.
It always is.
So thrown is.
I'm not sure if you actually can. We
use
just did.
whatever the. It says if a weapon is a melee weapon, use the same ability modifier for the attack and damage roll used for a melee weapon attack if you throw it. So if you throw a hand axe, use strength. If you throw a dagger, use dex. So thrown is based on the weapon property.
It's a torch.
So it's improvised.
It doesn't matter.
Which would be
Whatever.
whatever.
It's fine.
You can use it however you want.
It's totally fine. Yeah. So like whatever you saw has clearly woken up and slithered out of your sight.
I feel we might have made the situation a little harder,
Probably.
but it's going to be more fun. We've already put things to sleep. Let's wake things up. Come on.
In the old monster manual.
Now, do I have anything that could actually help this guy?
You get some rustling about.
Is it in the bushes?
It's in the brambles.
Rustle in the brambles?
Cousins.
Cousins? I was wondering. I could drop fairy fire and light them up.
That's what. Yeah.
That's my other
That was
option.
my thought after I made the dumbass move of throwing a torch.
But I can still do it if they're within a certain
Right about where that die is at, you see some rustling over there.
All right, where that die is, I'm gonna drop my other spell slot because I'm a half the time to get my spells back. I'm gonna drop a fairy fire in that area, and they gotta make a dex save.
Where are you guys standing? You're standing at the edge of the brambles, right?
Yeah,
We
I can
haven't
pick
really
a 20-foot
moved yet.
cube, up to 60 feet, and a cube of 20 feet. I can make hit with fairy fire. And I gotta make a dex save.
I'm going to presume, Troy, that a 10 misses you.
Yeah.
As you guys look over to see the rustling on one side, a snake's head just comes out and attempts to bite you, and it misses.
From right in front of us?
Yep.
Where's it at?
Well, now it's directly in front of where your character is at.
Oh, okay.
And you said you're the dude in the suit.
So you can throw a second die over there to indicate snake 2. Snake 1, right in front of you. Snake 2, somewhere over there.
Okay.
Again,
It's moving.
20-foot cube is gonna be a square that's 4 long, 4
So
high.
we can roll initiative now.
All right. Well, I got a low one. I got a 5.
No good, bro?
Natural one.
Oh,
Let's go.
lowest.
You got a natural 20.
Nat 20.
That's a great roll to have a nat 20
What's your-
on.
what's
One
your
that
total?
doesn't matter.
Alex.
Your dex. Add your dex to your 20.
Just a sec. Oh, there it is. 22. Nat 20 with
20.
plus 2.
20.
5.
Big old 5. What's your total?
Uno.
No, you got a 3.
Plus
Oh,
what?
3. It's
3?
a 3.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You lose.
I rolled a 1. I just assume it's the worst I can get. So.
It's the lowest you can roll,
Yeah.
but outside of combat, 1s are just a bad roll.
Alex, you're the top of the order. You know exactly where at least one of the snakes is sitting. The other one seems to be on the move in the
Hold off on my
brambles.
fairy fire since we're getting attacked.
Yeah.
I could use one of my other not as damaging spells.
Well, I could always use smite on these things.
You can see it.
I know exactly where it is. He just
You know where
told
it's
me.
at. I mean, you could just swing at it.
Oh, okay.
Now, you're also swinging through brambles, so
Sounds like they have cover.
they do have cover. In fact, at this point, they probably have total cover because of how they're made. So you would have to basically cut through the bramble to find it.
I can't use searing smite, which sets things on fire.
How much does it set on fire?
What exactly does it do?
When you use its concentration, lasts up to a minute. It's a bonus action. Your weapon flares up white hot intensity. Attack deals 1d6 extra fire damage to the target and causes the target to ignite in flames. That's all it is. It just sets the creature hit on flames if it doesn't hit them. but it stays for up to a minute until you hit your target. So if you miss, you're just hitting things. So it's up to him if he wants to let that stuff catch fire or not.
I mean, it's searing white hot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to set something on fire.
Yeah. For flavor, he could let the brambles catch fire even when you miss.
Exactly. It's like, oh, the snake is now dinner.
Because your target is the snake. If you miss the snake, you're just burning things that hit. You're not hitting the snake.
The cover is now a trap.
So if you would like to set the bramble on fire, sure.
I'll aim for the snake.
Well, and that's fair.
Use Searing Smite on that thing. And
Attack.
It's still an attack roll. There is still an AC and an HP to the bramble. So
okay.
So you might not burn the bramble.
Maybe not. Nat 20.
All right.
roll your damage. You are going to roll your damage die twice and add your modifier once
Hit die is a 10.
because it was a critical.
Did he hit? I assume he hit the snake.
I'm assuming with a nat 20 you hit the snake too.
All right,
but
so then
you're
roll-
dealing
yeah.
with bramble and the snake itself. So
Yeah, and you'll hit.
Okay. So,
You'll do your damage die and the d6 of fire damage twice as well.
Okay. So, here we go. 4. 9.
it's not standard damage.
Standard damage.
Whatever. It's a sword, so slashing.
Yeah. 4 fire, and then 8 fire
8 total fire.
Yeah.
for 2 dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was your modifier?
And
That
then
one,
my
that one doesn't have
strength
anything extra there, yeah, but then your strength.
Add your strength modifier once.
Yeah.
plus 4.
Plus 4.
So 13 plus 8, 21. Total damage.
Okay.
13 slashing, 8 fire.
Is it just? It's only a 5-foot square
It's just the target itself that gets
that
hit.
it burns, right? It doesn't. It's not like a cone or anything.
No, it doesn't. It's not like a blast.
That piece of bramble is gone. And the snake has been hit.
I would hope so.
The snake is unaffected.
The snake seems stronger.
Wait, what was the total again? Sorry.
It was a total of 21 damage. It was 13 fire, or 13 slashing, 8 fire.
Yeah.
Then the snake is dead. You slice through and cut that one's head off.
I set it on fire, and now I can eat it without.
I was
having
about to say,
worry
save
cook-
that for later.
Exactly. It is now grilled snake.
Just coiling it up on the end of your sword. Just roast
I'm
it.
just throwing it into my backpack for later.
There's now a dead snake and some a square of shattered bramble there,
This is all
directly in
open
front
now.
of you. 'cause
Shattered
That's
and
where
smoky bramble.
the snake was at.
But do I know that where do I know that snake is there? Like I know and it's there. I
That
just-
snake's dead. You
No,
don't
the
know
other
where
one.
the other one is. That's where you saw the rustling. You're not entirely
Yeah,
sure where
that
he's
one
at.
we didn't see the snake. We saw movement.
I can't move him until my turn. So
We have a general idea of where he is.
So if you have some kind of fighter ability that lets you deal splash damage, maybe.
Don't.
Or if you want to run in there and start shooting.
I'm a fighter with a lot of alchemist's fire. I chose the grenadier path line.
which plan, sir? And you can start chopping through the bramble.
There's an open path. Why would he want to?
Well, there's one open square of 5 feet.
He can fit. He's small.
I will move into that square
Okay.
and I will ready an action.
What is the action you are readying?
I'm ready, basically an attack if that thing tries to
Strike you.
strike me. Yeah.
Okay. So that piece of bramble, that particular square is no longer rough terrain because that bramble is gone. The rest of it would be rough terrain.
I just imagine your character staying there, swinging his weapon. If you come at me, it's your own fault.
Move that die 2 squares toward Troy. Because it's rough terrain, you can only go so far.
Do you want to go here or at an angle? So
That's fine. That's fine.
Here,
As long as it's 10 feet.
Yeah, he's still 2 away, yeah.
As long as it's 2 squares, it's fine.
okay. Just wanted to know if you wanted to be directly in front of him or at an angle.
He was not quiet enough. You see rustling heading toward you. But he's not
Bring it on, Russell.
But he's not attacking. Next up is
It's Russ and Cell.
Chinnopio.
All right. Chinnopio's going to move. Did Chinnopio see the rustling in the bushes?
Probably. Because he's not being silent.
Gotcha.
I rolled to do stealth and it failed. So.
All right. Move me to where I've got a line of sight of the rustly spot. Go leftish. Yeah. You can move me. Yeah, just move me there. And I'm going to do an Eldritch Blast at that spot. That was a bad roll. 14.
With the cover, that would be a miss. But you would blast maybe a little bit of probably a central square.
Then I will blast away that bit of bramble. Whatever one it blasts. I was shooting diagonally at it, so I guess that one directly in front of me.
Josh.
All right.
Just this little block of bramble left.
Blast!
I guess I'm going to move up to the edge of the bramble. Probably. Just up 1, 2.
Difficult
two,
terrain
maybe.
that probably hurts you. It's not that bad. Just walk through it like you don't care.
It's rough terrain. It just slows you down.
Those really sharp thorns won't do anything to you.
Well, I'm looking at just throwing my javelin or my trident.
Well,
so.
he's a fish man, so he's a little sensitive.
Okay.
He's got that soft fishy skin.
Roll to hit.
We'll see if we can hit him with the...
So this would be a strength for you.
Yep.
Because it is a thrown strength weapon. Oh, nice roll.
24.
Roll damage.
Are you going to hit with all 3 prongs or just a couple?
What's I don't know. It's a D6.
It's a D6
It's
plus
just
6.
a straight D6. It's not per prong.
That's not a 6. That's an 8. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought you grabbed the 8.
Don't
My
confuse the
bad.
kid.
It's like, I know what a 6 is. Come on.
I don't know, man.
Damn it.
Aw, he hit him with like a prong. So actually, no, you still dealt.
I speared it like Xerxes in 300. Oh, so it's 5.
It's 5.
5 damage.
Yep.
You hear a hiss. Top of the order is Alex.
Mr. Bernie Hammer. Though it's gone now. The fire's out.
I can live with that.
It cost another spell slot.
I think I only have the one right now. I'll have to double check that. Okay, well, let's see here. I can move 35.
Probably cut it in half if you try to go through the bramble.
Yeah. So rough terrain, if you're not aware of the rules, rough terrain is half of your speed. So each square instead of 5 feet is 10 feet.
Well, I could probably walk over Usagi.
You have 2 slots at level 2.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
You would have to go through his square. You can't. But yeah, you can go through your friendly squares.
Yeah, you can go through friendly squares.
You just can't stop there.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
But that square would only be 5 feet technically because it's no bramble.
Well, at 35, I'd be able to make it up to here, no problem.
Yeah, it's 35 rounded down.
Okay, so you're walking into the bramble.
I'm thinking I'd just cross over my partners and just cut through straight to the snake, be right in front of it. Unless there's something that means I can't just say, hey, come through, pardon me.
Excuse me, pardon me, come through.
You walk through the bramble. You take 2 points of damage as you walk through it.
I'm not going through the bramble.
Are you just standing up in front of him?
No,
You have to walk through. You can't stay in his
Yeah,
spot.
you can't share the square.
You can't share
no,
the
there's
square.
a square right in front of him.
Yeah, and there's
The whole
bramble there.
circle's bramble.
Yeah, the
Everything
entire
inside
circle is
this
bramble.
area is bramble except where he's standing.
And the one square,
you
and
burned
the
it.
one
And the
square
one I
that his
blew out.
Eldritch Blast busted
Oh,
out.
you burned it.
Yeah. Which actually was this one. Because that's the square, man. I destroyed that. So you could go there and go into this little bunch. So then you'd be next to the rustly spot.
I suppose that's fair. Yeah, you could go through Troy's square and diagonally into that next square without taking damage.
This one right here?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. You are still technically within range to attack because it's 5 feet there.
Yep. It's
So
the corner of
you can swing and attack.
I will do so
you
without the fire damage this time.
The straight sword.
Because
one.
I
So ignore
wanna
the
save my
bramble
spell.
damage I rolled earlier because I thought that's what you were doing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nope. Trying to avoid that.
All good.
I mean it's really light. It's not going to kill you.
No.
Or will it? Gangrene's a nasty monster to deal with.
Oh, okay. So that's
Especially when we've only got one healer and it's you. And
right.
it's not till you get laid
And
on.
that's okay. So that'll be 11.
11 to hit.
Yep,
That is a miss.
that's fine.
Got lots of bramble coverage.
Troy.
I will take that because of what happened last turn.
So he's in the only other clear square.
Yeah.
It would be your action to cut through the next square, and then you can move up. But then you would be out of an
I could
action
not
there.
remember what weapon you had. I keep
So you either take 1d4 hit points of bramble damage, or you cut through it and not be able to attack.
Or you could, because of action surge.
That is true.
You could attack, clear the stuff,
That's true.
move, and then attack again. Because remember, fighters get a lot of attacks.
Yeah.
All the time.
That is true. That is an option.
Yeah, f- it. Let's do that.
Okay. Roll to hit the bramble. It does have an AC.
24.
That does hit. Roll damage on it.
12.
It's mostly cutaway. It's not completely cutaway. It's mostly cutaway.
Fuck you.
Sorry, dude. I didn't give the bramble 15 hit points. The game did.
But you could have.
That's almost as much as the snake.
AC 11.
I'll still move up. And,
That's fine.
And hit the
Take
snock.
one bramble hit point.
Okay.
It's a D. I gave you a D2,
Caught the ankle.
so you lose 1 point of health
Well,
there.
that's not gonna hit the snake.
He cleared the bramble, took some damage, and then still missed.
Did you roll a 1, sir?
No, I rolled a 5.
Okay. But you are now right in front of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Does a 15 beat your AC?
Nope.
Okay. Snake attempts to wrap around you and misses.
Do you deflect him with a parry?
He uses his long rabbit legs and bops it in the face.
It's a shame these things don't have multi-attack.
Well, low level, it's rare to see that unless it's like a boss monster.
Yeah.
But the idea of their multi-attack was having 2 snakes, and we killed one. All right, well, I'm going to attack it again. Yeah, 19 Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, roll damage.
Awesome. And that's a D10 plus 4. All right. Because I took Agonizing Blast and added my Charisma. That's a 13.
You blast the snake. It dies. And you empty the rest of the bramble for that area. Thank you all for listening. The Wild Beyond the Witchlight is co-written by Stacey Allen, Will Doyle, Ari Levitch, and Chris Perkins. You can find us online at raincorsbrothel.com and on Facebook at Fans of the Raincourse Brothel.